Okay, so I'm just gonna turn off now quickly here the dynamics. How do they call this? Yeah, simulations. And I'm gonna copy paste my last nodes we made here for the smoke, and I'm gonna call this one fire ball. Okay, so let's rename this fire ball. Fireball. 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 One. Okay. Up, and I'm gonna rename this as well here quickly. Fireball. So, we're going to start with the emitter. Okay, so let's go up here. So we have a sphere. Now, I'm gonna go now to my mountain top. Let me zoom a bit on it. Just change the frequency for a little bit smaller frequency, okay? Around 0.5. And I'm gonna leave this value kind of identical. And okay, and now that transform, I'm just gonna make this one scale down. Put that back to default values and just make it a little bit smaller, okay? Like this, kinda. Yeah, that should be okay. And if I look at this, I'm gonna get first rid of that merge. Keep the volume up. Delete the scatters here, and I'm not gonna need to separate those. We won't work with oops, I deleted one too much, I think. Yeah. So we said fireball. Oh, let me rename this as well in the other one. Just gonna quickly here. No, emitter. I missed this one. Okay. So my fluid source, let's grab this one now, and I'm gonna leave it at source fuel. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna copy the scale for my fuel and I'm gonna paste it as reference down here for the scale of my temperature, and I'm gonna make it 0.8. So SDF minimum distance. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this one off. So let me just look at it. Bring back and look at this. What we're going to get there. So if I turn this one off like this and this, see, it's just gonna fill up my volume. Okay. So noise, I'm gonna lower the cell inference to 0.5, bring the pulse duration back up to 1. Sharpness 0.35. Amplitude. No, actually, let me think. No, I'm gonna leave it 0.5. Sorry about that. Green. Let's add some in there. I'm gonna go around 0.5. Now we're gonna go with a really small. Yeah, actually the offset doesn't really matter there. I'm gonna bring down the element size, sorry there. Just looking at the wrong parameter. Scale seems to be okay. So I'm gonna bring up here the split distance, like 2.3.5, close to there. Okay, that's gonna be fine. Cell size, I'm gonna bring it down to something close to 0.3, okay? And cell scale, I'm bringing it up now to 5.253. It should be okay. Okay, and on the volume VOP, I'm going to bring this down to 0.7. Fireball, okay. Good. So, why am I going in? So now I'm gonna go to my Fireball sim, and I'm gonna start to make some changes in there. So let's start with Pyro. So we're gonna get rid of all the initial data here, and I'm gonna turn off a solvent creation frame. Now, guides. Let's see visualizations, and I'm gonna leave the heat on. That heat, yeah, that's okay. So now I'm gonna go to my emitter. This is fuel, that's fine. Okay, I'm looking at the right node here. I'm gonna just delete for now my animation curves. And for my scale source volume, I'm gonna put a keyframe at the first frame with a value of 1. Then I'm gonna go to frame 5. And I'm gonna bring that up. I wanna add some volume in here. Okay, so again, this is going to be the fuel, so I'm gonna add some fuel to be more precise. And then around frame 10, I'm just gonna turn it off. Okay, so like if you would like to have like some other type of explosions, more like napalm, you could get this to burn a little bit longer. Not definitely with a really high value, but you could, yeah, just keep filling it fuel. Okay, So let me bring this here. Okay, so I'm gonna put the scale velocity back at 1. So volume is set of fuel, so that's fine. Fuel. Okay. Gonna go back at the first frame. So my pyro solver. Okay, collisions. I'm not gonna use any collisions. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of my drag as well. Yeah, let's just focus for now on the pyro solver. So first thing, I'm gonna go back in there and I'm just gonna turn off. Here I'm gonna bypass my gas repeat solver. I'm not gonna need it. Or I could even just right click and match screen definition so it just gets completely rid of it. Okay. So simulation tab. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with a time scale at 3 before going down to 1.5. So it's gonna get moving a little bit faster here like this. So 3, and if I go around frame, yeah, 5, bring it to 1.5. So temperature diffusion, I'm gonna lower this one, okay? So I want to keep it pretty sharp, so I'm gonna go with a really low value. Cooling rate, I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller as well, so it's gonna take more time to cool down. Now I'm gonna go to the buoyancy lift, and at frame 25 I'm going to put a value of like 2.5 and put a keyframe, and then at frame 36 I'm gonna bring it down at 0.1. Okay, so it's gonna go up and then really slow down as well, because it doesn't have that buoyancy lift anymore. That's gonna push it up, and we're going to push it a little bit sideways right away here. So I'm gonna go with a value of 0.15, 1, and 0.45. So if I go to my combustion, I'm gonna fuel efficiency, putting it up to 3, then temperature output to 0.3, that's 3.3 for both. Gas release, let's see what we had as a curve here. So I'm just gonna change a little bit those values. So I'm gonna make it a bit smaller from 1. I'm gonna bring it down to 117. Then last frame is gonna be at frame 50. And value is fine. And my second keyframe here, I'm gonna move it to frame 10. Okay, now I'm just gonna change this like this. I'm actually going to bring it down to 20 maybe. Yeah, that's gonna be just fine. So flame heights, I'm gonna lower it to 10 and bring up the cooling range to 3 for the maximum value here. So fuel create smoke, heat cut off. I'm gonna go higher this time. I'm gonna bring it at 0.8. Okay, so it doesn't have to cool down that much before it starts to emit smoke and blend them out. I'm gonna bring it up to 1. Okay. So flame contribution, I'm gonna bring it up now to 0.675. Temperature, I'm gonna leave it the same, and fuel, I'm gonna leave it the same as well. Now when we go to shapes, dissipation, I'm gonna make it a tiny bit higher, so it's 0.05. So let's check this time, or disturbance keyframes. So I just want disturbance. So at frame 3, okay, so let's change this. So I'm gonna go for the last one at frame 45. I'm gonna leave the same value of 0.2, and at frame 35 I'm gonna have a value of 0.4. Okay. I'm just gonna go with a little bit higher shredding in here. For the turbulences, I'm going to go with changing the frame. So frame 46, I'm gonna go with a value of 0.2, and here at frame 35, I'm gonna go with value of 0.5. Okay, good. So dissipation for the temperature, I'm gonna bring it up here to 3. Then disturbance cutoff, I'm gonna go with 0.125. Block size, I'm gonna make it bigger, so 0.2. And I'm gonna turn off the use control fields. Okay. So now if I go to shredding, I'm gonna, let me close this, increase a little bit, bring it to 6465. I'm gonna lower my stretch to 0.25, and clip gradient, I'm gonna bring it up to something like 10.7. Turbulences, so swirl size a little bit bigger, okay, because it's fireball, I want it to be more interesting. Pulse length smaller to 0.5. Again, random seed, that's gonna be the same. I put this back to 1, 0, 1. Okay. And that seems to be okay. So if I go now quickly to advanced, like advection, BCCFCF, so that's gonna go back to the default one, modified Macronic. And I'm gonna go bring this down again to the max steps to 1 and CFL condition to 1. I'm gonna save my file and go back at the first frame. Just have a look what this will be. So I'm going to pause it. If it lets me cancel it. Okay, so let me bring the flip book up. So we can see here it gets flat, okay, at the end. So one thing I want to double check, it's in my resize. Yeah, exactly. So I was resizing based on the density. What I'm going to do, I want to make sure it takes the heat and the temperature. And I'm gonna make a little bit bigger padding here and subtract 0.1. Okay. And I'm gonna start to make a new flipbook. So it's expanding way too much, so I'm gonna change a few things, okay? So I don't want it to go that far. So I'm gonna close this. So I'm actually for now just gonna bring that up a little bit. It's gonna be faster. So one thing I want to check on my meter. I'm gonna turn it off after a couple of frames. Okay, so turn this one off. So on. No, I'm gonna go to frame 9 actually. Wrong side. So that's the one I wanted. Okay, 9. And then next frame, I'm gonna turn this one off. And let's see what we get. I'm gonna save this. Now, so. Still expanding too much, so I'm gonna go change a few other things. So just gonna turn those on. Yeah, that's not gonna change my expanding. I'm just checking a bit because last time I did it had so many crazy values. So actually, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna try to lower it a bit, make a nicer curve. This. Okay. So smoke, no. Gas, I mean, this should be okay. Just thinking what else could kind of be the reason sorry behind this to expand that much. So okay, one thing I'm going to do here, I'm gonna actually turn on here for my turbulences the control field ramp. Okay, and I'm just gonna add here a couple of keys. It lets me to load this. So if I display this, I'm gonna go to key number 4. No, not the position, sorry. I want to bring down the value. Position 1. Like this. So this one, we're going to bring it and a bit further and a bit higher value as well. And the last one here, we're going to increase the value. There you go, and I'm going to just change the type of all of them to Catmull ROM. Okay, so if I look at this, okay, I'm still not happy with what's going on in there. Still kind of the same, I just changed a little bit now. My turbulences, okay. So sharpness is off, shredding. Okay, that seems good. For the dissipation, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just delete my 2 keys here. Okay, like this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the value of my second key here to 0.2. So one thing that I did was on my emitter, I just changed here. Let me just zoom on it. My highest value here on my second keyframe. So instead of being at 10, I lowered it to like 332.32. Okay. So it's not expanding that much anymore. It's still can expanding quite a lot, but I could still scale it down if really. So I may want to maybe advect a couple of particles just to be able to have like some embers. If I would just display these. Makes it straightforward. So, but yeah, so let's keep this hidden. So if I go here, okay, so I was having a few issues with my abreast. So one thing I want to do right away is right click on it, on my gas upres DOP, and I'm gonna go match current definition. I don't need any custom thing in there, so I'm not at the first frame. So I still have a few things to change. One thing I already changed, I got rid of all the initial data coming in here, so I deleted all those references. So it's still giving me some warnings here, so I'm just gonna check what those are. So okay, so require data res not found or wrong type. Let's check this. So oh, okay, this for some reason is not pointing to the proper one. So why is it not finding this? Okay, I'm just gonna pause quickly and check what's going on, and I'm gonna come back once I got this working again. Okay, one thing I just see now, in my import upres pyro field here, that's not the reason I have an issue, but it's something I see now. So before I forget, I'm gonna update this as well here, okay, to Fireball. Okay, because that would have been an issue anyway. So just double checking. Okay. Okay, so that's one of the things I just wanted to change quickly. So I'm still, obviously that wasn't the issue, but that would have been an issue later. So other thing I'm suspecting, it's, yeah, I think that was the issue. The heat here was turned off. So now I'm just going to go back to my upres, and let's look at this. Okay, still, is it still the same issue? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna pause it again and come back. So sorry about it. What I figured out, it's the issue I was having here. If I come here to my Fireball, I was looking at the wrong object just here. Okay, so I was looking for the DOP node called dust because I forgot to rename it. So obviously that wouldn't work. So renaming this pyro was finally pointing to the correct object. So that was the main issue, and that was a mistake I made here with our smoke element. Okay, so here was dust as well, so just had to rename it to pyro as well. So you will notice that your upres is not gonna work most likely with the smoke, so be careful about that. Update your pyro, not your pyro, your DOP node path. Okay, so next video that I'm gonna look at record, it's gonna be those let me bring quickly that render up. So if I come here, so okay. So we're going to look at this small trails, okay, and the bits flying out of it. So that's what we're going to do now.